May 2023 gave us some of our best diorama sets, and this may even be the best diorama release of all time. These are two great sets, and in this video we will be doing a review combo of the 75352 Emperor's Throne Room diorama and the 75353 the Endor Speeder Chase diorama. For starts, the Endor Speeder Chase diorama has 807 pieces and is marketed for 18+. As for the Emperor's Throne Room, it has 608 pieces, also marketed for 8+, and the total piece count on these two sets will be 1,415. The front of both boxes have nice renders of the models. We can see they both have an anniversary brick. We could also see the quotes that are on both of the dioramas. The back of the box have two really nice renders once again. You can also see the dimensions for both sets, starting with the Emperor's Throne Room. This one is 8 inches wide and 6.5 inches tall. As for the Endor set, it's 8 inches tall and 11 inches wide. So based on dimensions, the Endor Speeder Chase is a much bigger set. But there's lots of empty space, and this one has a lot more space filled in, and it's also weighing a lot more, and it's just bulkier in general. Also, on both backs of the boxes, we get two renders of one of the scenes in the fight scenes. So that's the scene in Lego of the Emperor and the Luke Skywalker battle from Return of the Jedi, and then there is the photo from the film. And here is the Lego set for the Endor Speeder Chase, and here is the scene. Across the two sets, you get 6 minifigures and 2 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi anniversary bricks. And I've also taken off some highlights from each model just to see what you're looking at in terms of what makes the set really good. So the 3 minifigures in the Emperor's Throne Room diorama are Darth Vader. It's a standard minifigure. It does have the arm print, and even though it's the one that we see in every set nowadays, it's still a very nice minifigure. He also does have a red lightsaber and a black cape, of course. Next is Luke Skywalker. He has a green lightsaber, a brand new hairpiece specifically for this set, but now it has came in a couple others. He doesn't have any leg printing, which is quite disappointing, especially for a premium 18+ set, but his face print and torso print are the same as we saw in 2021. The final minifigure is Palpatine, and I love the lightning pieces. I'm not so keen on the fact he doesn't have pupils, but I feel for Palpatine it isn't as bad as in some cases like with Darth Maul and other minifigures. He's another really nice minifigure, and it's a perfect addition for this set, especially considering it's the Emperor's Throne Room. Maybe we could have used some Throne Room guards, but it's not really a big deal. They've came in plenty of sets, but it would make the set feel a lot more complete. As for the Endor Speeder Chase, you do get the best Scout Trooper ever made, I think. You probably should get 2 of these. I think that would make it a lot better, once again. But it's a very nice minifigure with some great and unique prints, and the helmet mould is perfection. I can't say the same for Luke and Leia. They should have had the actual cloth ponchos, but I feel with these ones, it's just an oh well. The prints are fine, the helmets are nice, and it's the same headpiece for Luke. He also does have a green lightsaber once again. Leia has a blaster. Maybe they could have used dual-molded legs. That's another little ick with it. That's just 2 things with those minifigures. That could have been a lot better. Otherwise, this minifigure lineup is great for this set. And the prints are very good, but could have been a lot better. One thing about the Endor Speeder Chase diorama is that these speeders are absolutely perfect. I would say they have about 50 pieces each. One of them can fit Luke and Leia, the other one can only fit the Scout Trooper. But otherwise they are identical and they look great. We've seen this speeder made a few times before, and these are by far the best ones. There's a lot of unique detailing dotted around, and it's very, very intricate. It is a bit fiddly to put together and to put on the display, but once you do it, it looks fantastic. As for the Emperor's Throne Room, I took out these 3 parts, being the Emperor's chair, which does have a tint of purple through the middle. I think it looks really cool. It obviously has the 2 studs to attach Palpatine to. Also, these little towers, I actually don't know what they are. I don't remember them in the scene. But it's been over a year since I saw Return of the Jedi. They look really cool, though. They're really well made. Again, it's a bit fiddly to put together. It's kind of annoying, too. But again, once you put it on the model, it looks absolutely amazing. Next, I do want to mention a couple play features that feature on the Emperor's Throne Room set. There aren't any on the Endor Speeder Chase. You literally can't do anything with the model, except play around with the minifigures and decide how you want to display it. And the same can be said for the Emperor's Throne Room. So first you have some clips for the Emperor's Force Lightning. They go underneath this floor panel right here, and it goes on just as easy as it comes off. The Emperor's chair is up there, and the minifigures look great around it, but you can also spin it around 360 degrees. It actually looks pretty cool and cold, really, if you have it backwards, but it's more accurate to the scene when Luke and Vader start fighting, when Palpatine is directly in front of it. So now I'm going to review the Endor Speeder Chase build, and let's start with the quote, which for Luke Skywalker is, "Quick, jam their comlinks, center switch." It's a nice quote, and from this scene there aren't really many good ones to pick. The base is standard for dioramas. There are these little grill pieces dotted all around. The speeders look good on their little stands, and you can barely even see the transparent pieces when looking at it from afar, because the plant work and terraining, I think, is done perfectly. Next up, the trees. The snot technique used to make them is really good, and they aren't identical either. The one on the right has 4 leaves, while the one on the left has 3. And the one on the left is taller than the one on the right. There are some really fun techniques to create a very cool tree design. At the top, they did have to just cut it off there, though, because these trees go on for a mile upwards. They are very tall on the forest moon of Endor. I like the use of the dark orange pieces to kind of represent the inside of the tree, and a bit of a change from the brown, which is obviously the main colour design for the trees. The Endor Speeder Chase is a great set and a lovely display piece for any shelf. Next up, the completed Emperor's Throne Room set. These columns look great in their perfectly circular spots. The quote for this set is, "I am a Jedi like my father before me." It's probably one of the most iconic scenes in Star Wars, and I couldn't imagine this set having any other quote. Once again, there are the standard grill pieces dotted around the entirety of the model, except on the back where they had to use some Technic pieces so that the actual sides could stand up, because it would be quite flimsy otherwise. And I think the use of Technic pieces, especially since you're never going to display it from this back angle, I think that's really smart from LEGO's part. Also, this back section looks great. It is a bit repetitive after a while, but I actually really enjoyed building it nonetheless. By the way, I think both sets are really fun builds. Now, this big printed piece just kind of sits in there. It's not loose, it's not fragile whatsoever, and it's rather easy to get out. You just have to, one moment, you just get those pieces out as so. It's not really working right now. Give me a sec. Okay, I stand corrected. There is actually no way of getting it out. It is in there very securely. There are some Technic pieces and some clips, but the angles made to make the very nice windscreen at the back of the set are perfect to me. And I'm kind of sorry for that little time waste, but I feel like that's one that I need to keep in the video. Moving back round to the front, I really like these railings, and overall the tiling on this set is really good. And I love the angles used to create this circle, and it's just really well detailed. Next up, the price. This one has 800 pieces and this one has 600 pieces, so for £70 and £90 respectively. The prices aren't too bad in terms of price per piece, but I'm not so keen on that. So looking at it, I don't think it's worth £90, and I don't think it's worth 70 either. I think 60 and 80 would have been much more appropriate prices, but I don't necessarily think these are overpriced. They have a lot of pieces, and I think that's how LEGO value their sets for the most part. Also, there are only 3 minifigures in a £90 set and a £70 set, so I feel the extra Scout Trooper and maybe the Emperor's Guards would have gone a long way in making this set a much more valuable and a bang for your buck. Because if you're in America, that's $100 and that is $80, so the prices, if you think about it, are kind of absurd. But I don't think they're too bad, especially compared to some of the things released in 2025 and 2024. So I give the Endor Speeder Chase a 8 out of 10, and I give the Emperor's Throne Room a 9 out of 10. Anyway, let me think of this. Do you have these sets? These sets go great together on my shelf. I don't display them with my boxes, by the way. And these are 2 great dioramas that go very well together, and I think they are the best in the collection, and by far the best diorama wave. Anyway, once again, let me think of this, and thanks for watching. Bye.